How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit the bell notification button so you guys do not miss out on future videos or streams here on the channel. If you guys would also please head over to Twitch, follow me there at Douglas447. Stream there at least once a week, whether it's for Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, Destiny 2, Star Wars stuff. And of course, if you guys have any movies or shows you guys want me to watch and review here on the channel, please let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, we're going to be talking about positives and negatives, talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And we're going to answer the question, does this film live up to the hype? And of course, this film came out here in 2022. It is rated PG, and it's about 2 hours long. Now, if you guys haven't seen my original Sonic review for the film that came out in 2020, I gave that movie a score of 9, and of course, you guys can go into the 2020 playlist. You guys can watch the full review there, or you guys can go into the film review playlist. You guys can check it out there. And I, in that review, explain why I give it a 9 out of 10. And in this movie, I was extremely hopeful that it was going to be a good sequel. I was highly anticipating this film to be great for fans of the games and for it to somehow hopefully be better than the first film. It is a great movie for fans. It's going to be good for general audiences. However, I unfortunately don't classify this as better than the first film. Now, it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad sequel. But if I had to prefer watching the first or the second one, I prefer the first one. Now, I've only seen the first film a few times, and I've only seen the second one once so far. I'm going to wait until I get a Blu-ray to rewatch it. Now, the reasoning behind why I don't think this film is so good is that this film is clearly trying to establish some sort of Sonic universe of series of films or movies, and that's fine. However, I feel like it loses its heart that the first one has. Now, I'm going to dive about negatives and then I'll go into positives. So the first negative I want to talk about is that this is clearly a film targeted towards fans of the games and the source material for a franchise, for a MCU-like version of Sonic moving forward. And that's okay, but it does so in a way where it's not focusing so much on Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles and other Sonic universe characters. It spends its extra runtime on humans. And the best way I could describe that is that Sonic 2 is kind of the beginning point of something like Transformers, where the name of the franchise doesn't really much matter anymore. And I can see this problem, this seed of a problem arising in the future, where Sonic 3 is going to be more about humans than it is about Sonic and his, friends and allies and enemies. And yes, humans have been a factor of the source material for Sonic. Dr. Eggman is human. But this film really goes too far with human characters, especially with this secret organization called Gun that's supposed to protect the protect the planet from aliens, yet they get outsmarted by Dr. Robotnik constantly and easily, and they're just kind of shoehorned in there. And that's why I really don't like this film as much as the first, as it's trying to establish all this world building for a cinematic universe. And the best way to describe that is the post-credit scene. I don't want to go into spoilers, but there is a post-credit scene that kind of helps set up this cinematic universe. And the post-credit scene also allows for Sonic 3 to have a newer villain, because there is a rumor that Jim Carrey is going to step away from acting, and without going into spoilers, his character kind of doesn't have to return in future Sonic movies. It would be weird that if he doesn't, but it would be understandable as to why he doesn't, given the conclusion to this film. I loved all the returning cast and the new cast, especially Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik / Eggman, and Idris Elba as Knuckles is great. Now, the 20-minute runtime added to this film can be a positive and a negative thing. I feel like some of it was great because it allows for better spectacle and stakes, better portrayal of family and friendship, and we don't get this, buddy journey across the state highway. It's more of a journey to different locations in order to locate the Chaos Emerald. The film does feel similar, and a lot of times it does feel similar to the first film, but there's less funny moments in this movie. That's another negative I want to point out. Is there's a lot less funny moments, and instead this movie is kind of darker in tone, which a lot of people won't enjoy. And that's one thing I don't like. Is like the first film had a lot more humor to it and goofy nature going on to it, and it does get kind of darker towards the end with the final battle. This film just completely kind of ditches most of the funny moments. There's a few funny moments sprinkled in, like there's a dance-off scene, which I thought was hilarious. But it kind of gets overshadowed by the whole, we need to get this object, darker plot moments that are going on. If you're a fan of the series and you're a fan of the first film, I think you'll enjoy this one. But it's not going to be something that's going to be like, oh, I like this one over the first. I think a lot of people are going to agree with me that the first film is much better. This one's not bad, it's not horrible, but it's just something where I feel, again, this film doesn't spend too much time with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and it deals more with the human side of this universe that they're establishing. If I had to pick out of all three characters from Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, I think Knuckles was definitely the highlight of the trio and definitely the highlight of the movie. I think Idris Elba, as the voice actor for the character of Knuckles, did a fantastic job and was great. I felt like Tails kind of got sidelined. I mean, that's how Tails has always been, as a side character, but I was hoping that they wouldn't portray Tails in that fashion so much, and they did. Tails is basically the equivalent of Batman, where Tails is super intelligent, super smart, and has a bunch of gadgets, and that's all Tails is good for. I kind of want Tails going forward to get a little more character development and motivations. Like, there's a lot of things said by Tails and Knuckles, and we're just supposed to, like, go along with it. Like, Tails has a family and friends and comes from another planet. Like, I want to see Tails' backstory more explained. We've seen Sonic's backstory explained. We've seen Knuckles' backstory explained. I want the next film to dive into a little more of Tails, because I feel like Tails really got sidelined and was just there for the sake of being like, hey, this is why this gadget exists. I am planning to rewatch this film. I'm planning to own it, and I think this film is going to do much better than Morbius. I feel like this film is going to kill it at the box office for the next several weeks, especially until Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness comes out in 3-4 weeks. So I feel like this film is going to be really great, and it's a great spring film, and I'm looking forward to rewatching it again on Blu-ray. It's not something I can say I want to rewatch again in theaters. It was great to watch once in the theaters, but it's nothing grand and spectacular. And with that, I'm going to give Sonic the Hedgehog 2 an 8 out of 10. Not as good as the first one, but it's not a horrible movie. It's a great film. It's just not fantastic, fabulous. It's not, a 9 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 gets an 8 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section, guys. Do you guys agree or disagree with me on any of the points I've made? Do you guys plan on seeing it? Are you guys a fan of the games? Let me know in the comment section down below. You guys have a good one. Bye, guys.